Bill Murray has always been one of Hollywood's most magnetic mysteries. A man who could make you laugh until you cried, or make you walk off set and never look back. Behind that half smile and sleepy voice lives a streak of defiance so sharp it's practically legend. Murray doesn't fake politeness. He doesn't play politics. And when he doesn't like you, he really doesn't like you. Over the decades, he's quietly built a list, not on paper but in attitude, of people who pushed him too far. Some were colleagues, others once trusted friends, but once Murray's patience burned out, there was no second chance. This is the unspoken list of the people Bill Murray simply couldn't stand. It begins at the birthplace of his career, Saturday Night Live. In 1978, when Chevy Chase came strutting back to host after leaving for Hollywood fame, Murray's dislike was instant. He'd replaced Chase after his exit and resented the smug grin that came with success. Murray saw arrogance, entitlement, and betrayal. When Chase cracked a joke about the new cast, Murray fired back, calling him a medium talent and accusing him of abandoning the show that made him. Chase snapped, Murray lunged, and before the cameras rolled, fists were flying in the hallway. Everyone nearby heard the shouting. Legends say the whole building shook. Even when they filmed Caddyshack later, Murray refused to stand near him. Scenes had to be shot separately. For decades afterward, Murray treated Chevy Chase's name like a punchline, a reminder of what he despised most: ego without soul. But his longest grudge wasn't with a rival, it was with a friend. Harold Ramis, the calm writer who understood his rhythm better than anyone, had once been his creative twin. Together they made Stripes, Ghostbusters, and Groundhog Day. Then fame shifted the balance. During Groundhog Day, Murray grew dark and distant, obsessed with turning the comedy into something bleak and philosophical. Ramis wanted warmth, Murray wanted misery. They fought over tone, meaning, everything. Murray started skipping calls, ignoring direction, refusing to rehearse. He told friends Ramis had gone Hollywood, chasing sentiment over honesty. When filming wrapped, Murray walked away without a word. For 20 years, he said nothing. When Ramis fell ill, Murray showed up unannounced with donuts and silence. Not to apologize, but to finish something that had haunted them both. They spoke briefly, and then never again. It was the only goodbye Murray ever allowed. His next feud was shorter, but louder. On What About Bob? Murray clashed with Richard Dreyfuss from day one. He thought Dreyfuss was too rigid, too obsessed with the script. Murray lived for improvisation, chaos, surprise, everything Dreyfuss hated. Crew members say Murray mocked him between takes, teasing his seriousness until it boiled over. One fight ended with Murray hurling an ashtray at a wall. Asked about it later, Murray just shrugged. He's too sensitive. He didn't hate Dreyfuss because of ego. He hated what Dreyfuss represented: control, order, predictability. To Bill Murray, that was the enemy of comedy. When Charlie's Angels started filming in 2000, Murray met Lucy Liu and disliked her almost immediately. She was confident, intense, rehearsed. Everything about her professionalism clashed with his off-the-cuff energy. During a rehearsal, he reportedly told her she couldn't act. She snapped back, defending herself, but Murray refused to back down. He told crew members, "I don't work with phonies." It became one of the most talked-about arguments of the decade. He finished the movie but refused to sign on for the sequel. To Murray, Liu wasn't bad. She was just part of a newer Hollywood he didn't respect. He preferred instinct over polish, and when someone didn't fit that philosophy, he froze them out entirely. By the time Wes Anderson filmed The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou, Murray had matured, or maybe just learned subtler ways to express his dislike. When Anjelica Huston joined the cast, Murray kept his distance. He thought she was too refined, too theatrical for Anderson's offbeat world. He skipped her first day of shooting and avoided her in the makeup trailer. Huston later admitted, "He ignored me completely. He's a shit, but he's talented." For Murray, silence was punishment. He didn't shout this time. He simply erased her presence. To him, indifference was the cleanest form of contempt. Years earlier, Geena Davis had met that same side during Quick Change. She was meticulous, rehearsed, careful. Murray despised it. He believed comedy needed spontaneity, not planning. From their first meeting, he pushed her limits, greeting her with a bizarre massage gadget and later screaming in front of the crew. He thought he was toughening her up. She thought he was humiliating her. When asked about it later, Murray claimed she just didn't get the joke. But the truth was simple. He couldn't stand actors who tried to control him. If you have found this video interesting so far, don't be shy to subscribe for daily videos. For Murray, the only rule of performance was chaos. Even children weren't exempt. In one of his most notorious moments, 9-year-old Seth Green accidentally sat in Murray's chair during an SNL taping. Rather than laugh it off, Murray scowled, grabbed the kid by the ankles, and dangled him over a trash can before dropping him in. Everyone else laughed. Murray didn't. He later called it harmless fun, but the story says more about him than any scandal ever could. He had zero tolerance for anyone invading his space, even a child. It wasn't anger. It was principle. Murray protected his boundaries like they were sacred ground. Through every decade, that pattern followed him. Intolerance for phoniness, rigidity, or vanity. He couldn't stand people who performed off-camera as much as on. To some, he was difficult. To himself, he was honest. Murray never apologized for walking out of projects, for yelling, or for making others uncomfortable. He saw it as necessary friction, the spark that kept his art alive. That's why he's never had an agent, never kept a publicist, never built a team to filter his edges. If you wanted him in your movie, you called a 1-800 voicemail line and prayed he listened. And somehow, that mystery only made him more powerful. Because for all his grudges, Murray still commands love. Fans forgive him because he represents something Hollywood lost. Authenticity. He doesn't flatter, doesn't bend, doesn't pretend. If he likes you, you'll feel it. If he doesn't, you'll feel that too. He's the living embodiment of contradiction, kindness and cruelty, laughter and silence, genius and self-sabotage. At 75, Bill Murray remains the last of his kind. He built a career not by chasing approval, but by running from it. He never cared who he offended, only whether he believed in what he was doing. Some call it arrogance, others, integrity. But to Bill Murray, it's just survival. The price of staying real in a town built on make-believe. He has fought with actors, ignored directors, and clashed with icons. Yet through it all, he's still standing, still smiling, still showing up exactly when no one expects him. Because for Murray, every grudge, every feud, every person he couldn't stand was just another story, another punchline, another way to stay human. This is Retro Celeb Report, uncovering the rivalries, grudges, and untold stories behind Hollywood's most unforgettable faces. Subscribe for more hidden histories and unseen sides of the legends you thought you knew.